I don't think that.
Why would you using alcohol with alcohol?
Hey, how's everybody doing? And my name's James, and I'm going to be here doing something with Nez and Bish. And it's going to be kind of an interview about their experience working in the nightlife and bottle service bar industry. And Bish, why don't you introduce yourself and where you worked, all that stuff.
I worked in restaurant industry and nightclub industry. So, yeah, for as long as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Nez?
Same.
Just same.
Restaurants and nightlife. PTSD.
I've known them both for a while.
PTSD.
They've worked in the industry for quite a while, and I'm gonna be asking them a few questions and seeing how they respond. Maybe they'll differ on some answers. Maybe they'll agree on everything. Who knows? But let's just get into it. And the first question is gonna be an easy one. I'm just gonna start right off the top. Did the service industry change your opinion on people in general and how you act towards them, or just your viewpoint of just the general public after working in not just the service industry, but a service industry where you can see people at their, I could say almost like their most raw because alcohol's involved. So things like that.
Do you want to start
Sorry.
Why don't we start with Nez?
So has the service industry made me see people differently?
Exactly.
100%. Not even just the nightclub industry, but just even when I served at restaurants. It kind of made me hate people, to be completely honest. But you honestly, you meet some cool people.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, like when you're serving people in like a restaurant, people can be really demanding, like snap fingers at you.
Yeah.
You can provide an amazing service and no one tips you. So now they don't realize that like you're tipping other people out because like it costs you money that they came in.
Mm-hmm.
So you just meet a lot of really, really shitty people. And especially at clubs, people under the influence, you really like see them raw and just at the worst sometimes. But I've also met some amazing people. But working in an industry has made me have a special hatred for people, if I'm being completely honest.
That's fair. I can see that. I mean, I'm a cynical person, but this interview is about you guys, so I see where you're coming from there. Bish, what about you?
For me, it opened my mind about people because I feel like you get to see different side of people, or not just that, like you just see I don't know, but like it just opened my mind about people. Like people aren't what they seem, or how like some people are actually a lot nicer than what they portray. And
are you trying to say like people aren't always what you think they are?
Yeah.
And you see them in a different environment than they usually are?
Yeah.
Like that type of thing?
Service, like serving in a restaurant has showed me that, because then like some of the people that looks like they're nice and such can be totally mean, not cool, and like not tip you, even if you give them the greatest service. They'd be nice to you the whole time.
Yeah.
But then like some people who are a bit rudish or whatever, you do everything because they're so on demand, but they end up being like some of the nicest people as they come in more regularly. You realize it like just opens your mind a bit more, and also lets you see people's true colors, I feel, over time.
Especially remember, well, I don't know if this happened, actually this happened to every person who ever served ever, I think. But you know, when people come in and they're like, oh, like trying to act so bougie and like take care of everyone, and then when it comes down to the bill, nothing. And they're just like, oh,
wait,
okay, cool.
By
It's
nothing
the
you mean
best.
no tip.
No tip. It's even better when they don't tip and they're like, so, can I have your number? Like, oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Let's go.
You're not saying like if someone doesn't tip they can't have your number, like that's not the
No, absolutely not. It's just like insane that people, I don't know, they just don't really take care of the staff.
Yeah.
And they try and seem like they take care of the people around you, but they don't at all. And then they're just like, I just feel like I've really met people who are really like egoistic, and do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I feel like, especially in Vancouver, there's different parts of it. Like if you're serving in different parts of the city, it's different crowds you get. Yaletown made me hate the service industry.
100%.
Like that's when I was like, I'm done with it. I'm quit.
Yaletown's a special
kind. Yeah.
So actually, I want to build off of that. The different areas in Vancouver to go out. I mean, I know them. I'm sure we can educate the audience on what those places are and how you think that people are different. So like, let me just lay out like the places I know. Like you got Yaletown, obviously. You got Granville. You've got Gastown. And I guess you could kind of say you've got Davie Street a little bit, They're predominantly gay clubs there, but there's also like Celebrities, which is primarily a straight club now, and then there's also Kiss and Tell.
Mm-hmm.
So out of those 4 different areas, how do you feel like the people differ that go out there?
Oh.
And is there a major difference in how they tip or how they act, things like that?
Well, like Yaletown, I think ties in a bit to like some clubs in Granville. Like it ties in. Like if you're in Yaletown, you go to like 12 West. What other clubs?
Yeah,
are
that's
like
true.
in Granville, because like if you go to Cabana, and that's a different crowd, right? So it's like Granville is its own street, but there's so
also
many
the new one,
different clubs.
Hotel Belmont.
Oh, it's very young, like young people and like trashy. From what everything I know, it's either tourists, young people. Like the environment itself is fun and great.
Yeah.
But I just feel there's just too many like very young college kids. It feels, you know, like the crowd of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun and like if you have like the bowling section, that's always
the
fun.
table, the bowling section, and everything, which is that's neat. But like, so you're saying that you think Granville Strip area is essentially more younger touristy people?
Yeah, I'd say it's younger touristy, but also what's the other word? More, not e-boy. I guess that's, what's the like? I can't think of it, but
which place?
Yeah, I'd say young and touristy, Granville Street.
Oh yeah,
like younger crowd.
But I think Gastown's also very young. But Gastown's like a different young. Gastown is a hipster.
Hipster. There you go.
Too cool for school.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like fuck the establishment, that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not like
fuck status quo.
No,
but it's just there's a stereotype and it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
This is a generalization of what you've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Nez, what do you think about the different areas in downtown? And
I mean, I think every city has this. Every area is different, and every area attracts different people. I think Yaletown's very bougie, like very bougie, nose up in the air, like. Do you even know who I am? Kind of a vibe. 12 West, 100%. So on Granville Street, some places also have that.
The bougie side, yeah.
Very, very bougie. Gastown, super, super. It can be really, really chill. Actually,
it's laid back.
I really like Gastown. They're very laid back. But it's like a lot of hipsters and like kids who are like, some people are like really, really chill, and others are like, oh, like I'm too cool for school kind of a thing.
Like they're not with the status quo.
No. Exactly. And then, this Cabana's just different.
It's just its own world, I swear.
I don't know. It's weird at that.
I kind of want I want to build on this because you both brought up Cabana as being a different world. Can you each tell me an experience you had at Cabana that makes you feel this way?
Me, for example, I just feel like it's so aggressive. Like you almost feel like you're getting like eye raped by everyone just by walking in. You know?
Can you even say that word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know because I was
going
to
to
say.
Like,
I was going to say it, but I didn't know. They're just too grabby, touchy, and they're too entitled. Yeah. Like, I don't want to say what type of people go there the most, but like people that do go there are like they feel so entitled over. You can walk by them and they're like,
you're an object to them.
Yeah, like I've had my ass slapped there. I've been pushed there. Like men are just, I swear to God, like no class there from my experience.
That's fair.
Oh, I feel bad.
So to sum up, Gastown is essentially, from what you guys are saying, is like more of a hipster, but like you can have a good time there. It's a bit more laid back, but there's a little bit of like air of like, oh, like I'm just like, I'm pretty cool. Like
you're on a high horse.
That's it. Like a lot of flannels being worn there and
A
stuff.
lot of flannels, drinking heels, some Jack.
I don't go to Gastown. All right, so and then Granville Street's the more younger crowd, touristy people that.
Let's not forget about Cougar, Gastown area, the Roxy.
No, that's Granville Street.
Yeah, like Granville Street. There's also. So
so
there's a little bit of bougie on Granville. There's a little bit of.
It has everything.
Aggressive.
A little bit of everything.
And then Aura.
Is it even open?
Aura, yeah, they do. They have like Asian night. It's actually my favorite place to go to because it's the less creepy. I feel like Asians are just very respectful.
Yeah.
You know.
I can see that. A little bit more like personal space.
You just go. You have
personal
fun,
space. Mind your business. Yeah.
And then there's the Roxy. It's like country club. So many cougars.
I've literally been there like twice in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's 2 times too many.
2 times.
if you guys had to go out for the night, and you could only pick one of these areas, which one would you pick?
Yaletown.
Aura.
Oh, I'm terrible. I end up classifying into the bougie category.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, Yaletown is definitely the bougie of the areas.
Bougie.
It's very much the bougie area. No judgment. Sometimes it's nice.
Oh.
Sometimes it's sometimes nice. I feel to have like nicer service, nicer things. Like I don't think that's a bad thing at all. So and then next question I want to ask: can you judge a customer or just a patron, whatever, on what they are wearing when you walk in? Like first snap judgment by what they're wearing when they come in. Can you judge someone on that? And are you usually right when you do?
Okay, I want to say I feel like the industry trains you. Like you get better and better the longer you're in the industry. So I feel like all of us do judge them when they come in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel like we end up being right because like I said, the industry trains you. Like over time you kind of get to know like who's who, like what type of people, what type, like what's your take?
I think not all cases, but most cases you can 100%.
Most.
But you wouldn't think, a lot of times you wouldn't think that the person that comes in is going to say like, because obviously at the club it matters who spends the most. That's how you make money in the club. It's based, however.
At the end of the day, it's a job for you guys. Like, you want to make your money.
Yes. I actually would say people that come in and are dressed the bougiest, like I'm saying like Gucci from head to toe, and like you're rolling in with bitches. You're not really spending that much. You're getting like 4 bottles of Moet and you're calling it a night. And then the person,
and are you tipping or no?
And not tipping on top, which like you're not supposed to tip. You don't have to tip on top, but
the real ballers
do. Maybe we're very spoiled, and we're just like, it's not that we expect people to, but like people expect a certain service and like extra service and like be glued to this table. With that, obviously, like if you're not like if we're at your table the whole time, you're not gonna. I don't know. Yeah. It's not expected, but I'm gonna get so much hate for saying this, but kind of expected. Yeah. It really depends on the service that you're getting. Anyways, but I find that the people sometimes who come in and surprising the most, those are the people who are come in and they're really, really casual, like very low key. They don't want any attention. They don't want any like crazy like show or anything. They end up spending the most and taking care of the people around them. That's always like, I think I've worked for 3 years, a little over 3 years at a club. Every time that's what I found.
So the people that you think would be like kind of more under the radar are the people that come in and take care of everyone.
100%. They're just like even like respectful and like, anyways, not all the time, but most of the time. If that makes sense.
That's the generalization of it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
So I feel like you guys have kind of agreed so far on most things we've been saying, but I think we should do a shot of either Jack Daniels or tequila. I'm not even going to call it by its name. Tequila. I know what you would like, and I'm pretty sure I know what you would like.
Same.
So you're both going to get the nice glasses. They're not nice, but they're glass.
Jack Daniels glasses.
There we go.
Confusion.
Because I feel like these questions are going to get a little bit more and more, not personal, but a little bit more, maybe not PC, you could say. Okay. PC is not even the right word, but like, a little bit more out there. Okay. And I think with a little bit of alcohol, like we're talking about the nightlife industry. So I feel like we should be drinking to talk about the nightlife industry.
I feel like one thing we forgot about.
Do we get to tip you?
Well, that'll become after, right? I'm glued to the table.
Right.
So you guys can, it's not expected.
But it's expected.
Yeah. We tip on top
anything you decide is up to you. That's whatever you decide is good with me. Cheers to the first one of maybe many of these. Cheers.
Oh my God.
Well, you have to.
We're doing it on camera. Jesus Christ. We gotta not look like pussies.
I just actually smelled that.
No, don't smell that.
It was an accident.
This is a 101. Who does that?
Okay, only if you breathe in and you don't breathe out. You don't exhale and you just take a shot because it makes it better.
I don't know.
By the way, everyone watching, if I am out of frame for a second, that means I'm smoking. Just right there. So, just so you know. How'd that feel?
PTSD.
You would think working in a nightlife industry
will prepare you for shots.
Yeah.
You guys look like real veterans right now.
We're retired.
Oh my lord.
You're getting old. You can't take it like you used to.
No.
Oh, that is another thing about the industry. Hopefully that's not going to be a question. Do you think age matters?
So a question I want to ask now is, do you think working in a club or if you work in the nightlife industry, there's a negative stigma that goes with it? Let's say from people that don't work in the industry but go out a lot even, that look at you like, you work in the nightlife. Like, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And while you ask that, I will be listening, but also smoking because I'm a degenerate.
Well, I think 100% there's a stigma that goes with
100%.
right?
Yeah.
For me, what drives me the most crazy, it actually makes me not thinking about this. This actually came mainly from girls, in my with my experience, but I know both males and females ask this. But it's always like, oh my god, like, you're so pretty, you're so cute, like, you're actually smart. Oh, you're actually smart. What are you doing here? Like, why are you in the night industry? Like, don't you want to do something else? I'm like, excuse me, bitch. First of all, I'll probably make more money than you. Not that it's about that, but kind of, because it's a job. Secondly, I enjoy what it, like, it's just like, it's so,
but it also,
they try to belittle you and kind of like.
It comes from the girls who don't even have proper jobs too, though. I feel.
I got it from all sorts of people.
Really?
Just like, what do you, like, oh my god, like, you know you can do other stuff. I'm like, what do you think I do? All I do is I bring a bottle to you and I babysit the bottle. I'm essentially your babysitter. That's what I am. I'm your babysitter.
Oh my god, that's a great
So, what the fuck do you mean?
But it's like, everyone forgets, I feel like. I know, like, there's so many girls who are in school and do bottle service because it's a great way to pay for their school and it works for, like, their hours so they can study during days and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, not every bottle girl is, like, stupid. A lot of them are very smart.
Well, that's how
they have ambition, goals. It's just, like, one of the steps they're taking in life to get to where they want to be.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just like when you work at fucking Shoppers or something like that, or a clothing store, wherever, you're, am I going to go up to a retail person and be like, you know, there's other things that you can do, right, with your life?
I understand.
No.
Like, everyone looks down at you, like, when you're, like, in, like, a industry, unless you're, like, a manager or something, like, if you're just, like, a server, bottle service, like, whatever you do in a restaurant, if you're talking to anyone who doesn't work in a restaurant, they do look down on you, or in the industry, they do.
Now, I want to ask, do you think that comes from a place of actual concern, or do you think it comes from a place of jealousy or
condescending?
I think it's belittling.
Yeah, belittling.
Belittling, I think, is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, at least, like,
I think it's
I've never worked in the industry, but I have partook.
Imagine him shaking it. You got you right there, James.
Bring out the sparklers.
Oh my god, I got two lights. Let's go. You guys ready to drink? Ready to party? Oh my god.
Shots?
Where's my money?
Straight
That's
forward.
not how it happened.
That's how I would do it, I'm saying.
Oh.
But, like, you think it would be, like, a more belittling jealousy type thing, or do you think just belittling? Because usually when someone belittles, it comes from a place of insecurity and jealousy.
I think that not all cases are insecurity and jealousy, and I think maybe a lot of times people don't even know maybe if that's where it's coming from. I think sometimes, I have had two girls that stick out to me. They were college students. And oh my god, they were so sweet. Like, so sweet. They loved me. I loved them. It was really pleasant serving them. Yeah. And I think how they don't go out. It might have actually been their first bottle service experience. And both of them, they're like, oh, you're so pretty. Like, can we hang out with you outside of work? And then they go, you know, like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you working here? I'm like, what the fuck do you think I do? Like, this is not like some bad, like, what do you think that we do behind closed door? Or like, I don't know. I'm just standing here and I actually am doing exactly what you were doing, but I'm just getting paid for it. Yeah. So, fuck you. But I don't say that. I'm like, oh,
like, some people, they say it in a sense of, like, admiring, like, maybe those girls, they don't mean it that way, where they, like, admired you or something, where they're like, you could do better, like, why are you here? It's, like, just, like, a genuine question.
So sometimes maybe it comes from a good place.
Yeah, from a good place, where they're not, like, doing that. Yeah. But a lot of them are, I feel like, belittling, jealousy.
Most cases is belittling.
For men, it's, like, it's because they didn't get with you. Yeah. So they're like,
how many times have you heard guys say, let me save you?
Yes.
Fuck you.
That's a good one.
Let me
Ew,
save
ew,
you.
ew. I got
They say it. They say I saved you.
Let me save
Let me
you.
save you.
Yeah.
That's a big line in the bottle service industry. Let me save you. Like,
But
you're like,
I think
ew.
where the
From
confusion
you? Like,
comes,
what are you talking about?
the confusion comes from like I've heard stories too, and like there are some girls obviously that do like whatever that may have like given the industry a bad name, and everyone just revolves everything around those few stories more. So I feel instead of just like I don't know, remembering everyone's
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
you know that's
There's
the only
a
thing
reason
because there
why
are
there's a bad
some
stigma.
yeah.
I actually think that because I worked in the nightlife industry, and maybe I'm naive, but I think that there's not a huge amount of girls that
Yeah.
give the bottle service industry like that bad stigma, but there are those girls.
They
And I
stand
And
out.
because
Yeah.
and it's because it's so negative, people would rather concentrate on a negative that
Yeah.
comes with it, and just now
And
they
they
all
just
put
group
they bundle
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, people like to concentrate on negatives more than positive.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
It's
with any job or
that's with
anything.
anything. That's with anything.
But
I think
that,
it's
but they
more
just
so-
like bundle it
Yeah.
together instead of trying to look at people as individuals and they have their own decisions and choices.
Yeah.
They just kind of like hear a few stories or know a few girls that are obviously like different or do something that they don't agree with, then they just take that and say like all of them are like that.
Mhm.
Oh, they're all like that. They all need
Yeah.
saving. Like you know, like I get that's where like the bad stigma I feel like comes from.
And you feel like you get more of a negative stigma or negative vibe from men or women?
Women.
Women.
100%.
Men want to date you and fuck you. They don't care what you
Yeah.
do. Women get jealous of you because the girls look so hot. They're wearing nice dresses. Oh, like you know what I mean. They look great. Then the women get jealous and they
You
come.
definitely have to look apart. You have to look the part to be bottle girl, or bartender, or whatever, server.
A lot of times, yeah. As bad as it is to say it, it is very true, and a lot of places have gotten in trouble for it as well.
Well, but
For like hiring, like more
the
so
club
for
industry is
looks.
very shallow. It's just a fact.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what going out is, though, right?
Yeah, it's very shallow.
Mhm.
It's a shallow game, and I think going out has a negative stigma that is actually warranted, in my opinion, because it is a toxic environment you're going out into. Is it fun? It can be. I've been a part of it many
Yeah.
years, but I don't think having a negative stigma towards people that are working in that industry because they're just hustling.
Yeah.
They're hustlers. The negative stigma should be on the patrons there, like getting hustled by these places, by these bars. Like the markups on alcohol, the markups on just like, oh, I want a
Yeah.
table, I want this, I want that, is insane.
ridiculous.
It's just a big hustling game.
Yeah, it's true.
It is. It is.
So like, I think the negative stigma should actually be more on the patrons than on the people making their money on that shit because they see it as an opportunity. They're like, well, if you want to act like this, you want to do this, I'm gonna get paid for you doing this.
I feel like I've been on the other side where I'm like, oh my god, I'm a stupid idiot.
No.
Where I'm like the one getting the bottles. I'm like, whoa, let's get drunk. I'm like going out and I'm like sitting. I'm like, oh my god, I'm the idiot that was getting hustled.
Oh my.
Oh my god, I did that.
Shit.
Bitch, don't worry, I've been there.
As I sit here, I'm like having like a life
So hot.
revelation.
Yo.
I know it's actually getting. I thought it was just
I'm
the
sweating. I was like, I don't know
Tequila's
if I'm
hitting.
nervous. Is it tequila or what?
The tequila is
I'm
hitting.
getting another hey y'all.
Can I have
Oh.
one too, please?
Yeah.
I think there's one open in there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know what I don't know why this even came to mind, but it actually working in a service industry, you get a lot of people who are regulars.
Yeah.
So when you go out, it's a whole facade. Like people go out to feel good, to party, to
Yeah.
have fun.
Thank you.
But people who maybe really sad are regulars. And you obviously like people who are regulars, you make a
Yeah.
connection with them, you know them, you have some sort
Yeah.
of relationship. And people who I feel like, obviously it's not everyone, but most people I think who go out every single
Yeah.
fucking day, every night, are the most
Oh my
depressed
God,
people. So you're always
100%.
around this like depressed
Yeah.
energy and like it's just
Oh.
sad. And then there's everyone
It's
feels
draining.
sad for each other. Yeah, it is draining. Draining.
But I'm gonna like
I didn't know
honestly,
it was so
huge
sad.
shout out to the
You,
regulars.
single night?
Well, I used to. You knew when I did.
True, and
You
you
were a
were
regular?
depressed. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Alcohol.
The interviewer is getting called out right now.
But it's
So we're
true,
about to
like,
interview you now.
But no, like when you go out and you party, it's fun. But when you do
Yeah.
it every single day, 12 months of the year,
Yeah.
like
You feel a little empty. Like I think I can
For
speak
sure.
on this
Yeah.
better than most. Like you feel very empty. You
Yeah.
feel you feel like you're trying to fill a void,
Yeah.
and it's never gonna be filled that way. But you do it to do something almost.
Yeah. No, I totally get that because for the last bit, because I didn't go out as much, and like for the last bit before everything happened, like I was going out so much, and I feel like you knew that.
Yeah.
Similar thing, like one of my other friends, like he was in the UK, he asked me like, yeah, I see you're going out a lot, you're like living your like life, you seem like having fun, but he's like, but are you happy? And I haven't had anyone ask me this question. Then like it makes you think back because like you know, like of course you're feeling a void with the alcohol. It's fun. It's like glamorous, it's great, all the tequila, you're drunk, now you're recovering, and like it's the same thing over and over again, and you forget like what you're missing or like so I was going through the same thing, so I get
you're missing on reality. I feel it's
100%.
like it's just it blocks you from reality. That's what it does.
Sure.
For me, it's so easy to get trapped in it because I worked at the club.
Yeah.
Like when we were open 7 days, I worked all 7 days. When we were open six, then 5. But I worked all the days. I was 100% a workaholic. But I was addicted to making money and to saving and doing something. But also with the service industry, where I hustle so much is you can't work in this industry your whole life. It's your youth.
You have
you need.
What's the thing? You have a
expiry date?
Yeah. I hate hearing that, but
I'm a guy and I've never worked in the industry and I've heard that.
I know. I just heard that so many
times.
You
working in a club terrifies you to age. It like really does.
For sure. Because like younger and like you know what I mean? Like younger girls come in, they're like 19,
and then you're
20,
like,
you're like
young one. And you're like, what the hell? Get out of here. What are you doing?
You're making me feel insecure right now.
Yeah, because you get because like that's the new toy and everyone like gravitates towards.
It's
you're like.
But even like people maybe don't realize this, but like when you work as a bottle girl, because you're allowed to party and drink. And, like, actually, just kidding, you're not. But you're
saying?
But you're out with a customer. You're there in a party environment, and it's always really toxic. So bottle girls also go through shit. And they also get depressed. So then you're like, so now you're partying. You're not just working, but you're working and you're partying. And then on your days off, you're out partying. So now you get trapped and it's like a bubble. And
like a circle.
That's the most depressing because then you can't even get out. It's like, okay, I'm over going out because you fucking work at a club.
Yeah.
I also feel like from my experience, one bad jobs to interview because I'm saying my experience. How I saw it was like, if you surround yourself with people that are also doing it, you feel less bad about doing it. Yeah. But then when you actually take a step back and look at what you've been doing, you're like, I've been totally blinded. I've had like total blinders on because I've been around people that are totally cool with doing all this stuff and make you feel like it's okay doing it. Like and it is okay doing it, don't get me wrong, once in a while.
Yeah. But they make
going
you feel like
5, 6 times, 7 times a week, that's a toxicity at the end of the day. It'll make you hate yourself. I think for me, it makes you hate yourself.
You're not working towards anything. No. You're not being productive.
You're not creating anything.
You're actually just self-destroying little by little.
You're destructing yourself.
But I feel like at that point, you end up doing that is when you've lost motivation, when you've lost like what you want to, when you know when you lost a bit of hope and like if you don't have ambition or anything, and then you start going out and you meet more people who are going out. So it's like like you said, like a cycle. But then it starts with like you kind of losing hope a little bit. Then you just get sucked into it. Then you completely forget about anything because all you want to do is like, oh, what am I doing today? Who am I going to see? Where am I going to go drink? What are we drinking? Like, what day is it today? What's popping? It's just like.
So the smart way to do bottle service, in my opinion, is don't party with the customers. Don't drink. You go there, you work, you leave, you do your own thing. But it's fucking.
But yeah, exactly. I was going to ask. Wouldn't that be difficult? Because I've been in a club sober, not many times, but I've been in a club sober. And
you have?
I can count on 2 fingers how many times. But it is one of the worst experiences I could think of because you're there and everyone is such an idiot. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what I must be like. But you push that aside because you're just like, when you are that idiot, you don't even notice. You're like, because you're surrounded by other idiots.
Tequila Bish.
Yeah,
Tequila Bish. James on anything. Idiot.
Honestly though, I think we all are when we're drinking and we just don't know when to go home.
I'm waiting for another Jesus.
Yeah.
It's depressed
It's a
me.
depressing show.
Oh, we've now, so we're about to go back
Alright.
right into the cycle.
Right?
As we're
Let's-
doing great.
Let's get off this topic, and
Yeah, let's move on to more
I'm gonna
happier
pour
thoughts.
these. They're smaller shots, but I mean we're trying to be a little bit professional here. Not really, but
We forgot the English Bay Area. If you worked in English Bay Area, like Hack's Club, I don't know. Oh my God, that's like a new level of hell. And anyone
Really?
who's worked there knows. Because like, okay, like in the winter time, obviously like it's kind of like garbage. You're not doing good, right?
Yeah.
Then in the summertime, full of tourists.
Oh, and tourism tip.
But then it's like you're so busy, like your tables are flipping so quick and so off. Like you running around, and back then when I worked, like you were supposed to wear heels. So you're running in heels, and if you were upstairs to go to the kitchen to grab food, you have to run back up the stairs to take the food to
you
your
get a little
table.
workout.
Run back down the stairs. It's like constant.
At
And
least
if
you're getting a workout.
yeah, but like then your tables get mad because like where's my food? Where's this? I need a napkin, and like you're constantly running back down and up, and like if like the upstairs bar isn't open and you're going down to get drinks.
That's me.
Oh my God, it's like, but also I think everyone knows it's like English Bay Areas is like
nightmare.
it's like a
'Cause it's
different
all
type of
tourists.
hell you grow out of. I swear.
Cheers.
Cheers
Cheers.
to all those people that
Cheers.
survived.
Hope you guys are enjoying whatever this is.
Whatever this is. Oh my God. Oh God.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh.
All right, so switching topics.
If
First,
you
sorry to cut
would
you
get
off.
deleted.
Yes. yes.
Sorry to cut you guys off, but I want to switch topics here
Yeah.
because that one's a little depressing. This
Oh.
one might not be any less depressing, but
Oh.
it could be interesting. So I've written down here: have you ever felt in danger while working in the nightlife industry, like in any way possible? And obviously, it would be great if you could provide instances because I mean, that's what we're here for, not just a blanket. Sure, it's like because that's not that interesting.
Do you understand it? So when I worked in a restaurant, and like honestly, I feel like you end up getting a lot of stalkers. Like if you have a social media like platform or whatever, like or like a presence or whatever, and you work in like a industry in like service industry. I had a guy, so I'm pretty sure it was like I was serving them the whole night, and then like okay, we're closing, right? Like oh, so like you gotta go, so ends up going whatever. But then like we can see the camera upstairs. He's waiting by the upstairs door. Like he's not actually leaving, and like we're closed. The restaurant's closed. After we close, it takes us 30 minutes to an hour to clean everything up, set everything, do everything, and like fully shut down and get out. He was there the whole time where I had to have like someone walk me, like home. Like
That's fucked.
yeah, because we get off late. If you work in the service, you get off very late.
Yeah.
And if you're sober or not, like you end up getting off so
Mhm.
late that you have to be careful and cautious. But I feel like you do get a lot of like stalkers, like people who have nothing to do with their time or life, and it's like creepy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
no,
I've had a couple instances like that. I feel
at which
like restaurants.
Restaurants, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It's even that bad at restaurants.
Restaurants, yeah, because you still do like nighttime and stuff, right?
Yeah, of course, you guys close late and everything. but,
Late.
like,
It's like what
you
is
actually
it?
have people linger around.
Yeah, like an
Do you
hour.
notice though, like if like let's say you're working, you serve someone, let's say, and you stop serving them because they stop getting food, drinks, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes notice people kind of just still around the establishment or what have you, and you just feel uneasy about even leaving by yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's been many times like that. And I feel like restaurants are more scary because like you think it's more chill there, you know what I mean? But people are more sober. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not as drunk. In club establishments or like bars and stuff, like people are also drinking. There's so many people in and out that it's a little like unlikely for someone to like stand around or wait around.
Yeah.
But in the restaurant, because there's like it's so quiet and no one would ever expect
Mhm.
it, that it just like happens more often. I honestly feel like. Well, I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah.
I think that not even just I think just customer care, service industry, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Whether it's retail, this and that. If you're gonna work with people, you're gonna come across some weird people. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
But I do think I mean, I'm biased because I've worked in the service and night industry, but to me, I think it happens more in a night and service industry.
Feel so.
So like
alcohol, I'm sure. Alcohol and drugs will play a huge part of that, I'm sure.
I don't even think all the time, but yes. A lot of the time, yes, but not all the time.
But it's also because we have to present ourselves. Like in certain places you do work, you have to do your makeup, you have to make sure your hair is
always look perfect.
Yeah, and you have to wear like dresses in most places.
Yeah.
So like, and then the way you look, like polish or whatever it is, like certain people who have nothing to do with their time, it's like
become obsessive.
Yeah, it can get obsessive.
Yeah, I have had situations where
I want to hear specific situations.
I want to talk about specific situations.
Well, obviously, I'm not asking names. I'm not asking, but like
no names, no establishment names.
No establishment names. You don't have to name anything, but like.
I mean,
this is what we're here for.
I've had three situations come to mind. Which one do I bring up? The one probably 100%. This person will never see this. So this is the least bad situation. It's not as bad as the other two. They become worse and worse. But the situation.
Well, we're hearing all of them,
no.
right? I mean, come on.
No,
we gotta hear the worst though.
Yeah, you can't just give us the third. You gotta work your way up.
No, has anyone stalked you?
No, I'm a guy. It's a lot easier for us. The worst that's gonna happen is someone's gonna do it to your face. I mean, unless they want to do something worse to you, but.
I've had like someone who I actually knew, and you wouldn't think it would be someone but someone I knew and I went to high school with has like followed me, whatever, and like waited for me. And then when I was getting to my car, they got into my car.
Hold on. We need a little more context here. I feel
like when you left the
you can't just say.
So this person.
Like let's tell the story properly.
So this is a person I went to high school with, and this person I think went mad after drugs, and I believe he's not all there.
Not all there in that. Which I don't think anyone is that would do something like that.
And I've had a routine. So I think this person learned my routine. Yeah. And this person waited for me I was actually leaving my friend's place, so I wasn't even at a club at this time. But he entered my car and it was just uncomfortable. I didn't want to be like...
Was this during the day or the night?
This was the night. And I didn't want to be like panicking because I didn't want to panic the person, and like that to me that was the scariest part. I was like, if I'm gonna panic, he's gonna panic, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So I was very calm and like pretending like I was completely cool with the situation. It was really hard to get out of actually. Moving forward, so fast forward a few days later, I'm working at the club. The person comes into the club and I was bartending and they were standing directly across from me and just watched me work for like hours. I was so uncomfortable.
Oh my god, that's so scary.
At the time I was like new-ish because I worked at the sister club. So I was new at that establishment there. But I worked at the sister club like for a while. And eventually I said something to the bouncer. He got kicked out. He waited for me to get off and he like snuck in from the back and tried to get in and like was like, oh, like I'm here for Naz, like that. It was so creepy. So for a little while I was really scared to go to my car. I actually think I was getting like I don't think she cares if I say her name, but Tiffany and Trish, the girls I used to work with, to like walk me to a cab or like, you know. Yeah. And that's a huge thing that the club should almost be a rule. You should always have a buddy system. Yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of a scary situation. For sure. And then I've had stalkers, like someone put me in a chokehold once at the club because I rejected them, which was insane. And that person was banned for like they weren't allowed to come to the club for a short amount of time.
Short, like how long is a short amount of time?
Oh, that does not sound.
This I really don't. I think it was like a month or two.
Yeah. A month.
If that.
For putting a staff member in a chokehold. I
knew I wasn't in danger. I knew I was fine. I knew the person was just mad in the heat of the moment. But it's obviously not a situation you want to be in. No. But people are gonna grow, like have an obsession over people, or like you know what? If it wasn't me, it was gonna be someone else. Yeah. But the one thing that stands out to me is I don't think my life was ever in danger. It wasn't. But the club, you have to understand, they're making money. So they're almost going to side with the person who's bringing in money as opposed to someone who can make a replace.
I've experienced that myself even. Like, I've been in establishments that I know you've worked in. Yeah. And they didn't want to kick certain people out for doing really dumb stuff.
Yeah.
because they spend money there.
Yeah.
And at the time, the one time I'm thinking of, I know you know who I'm thinking of. I said, if they're not out, like, I'm leaving. So you're losing one customer regardless tonight.
Yeah.
And that's the only way it made anything happen, because they wanted everyone to stay there except for they wanted to kick one of my friends out, and all he was doing was stopping something stupid from happening.
Yeah.
I know you remember that night.
Yeah. So they were always on the side with whoever's spending more. I actually did have the third incident. I'm not going to go into detail, but I actually, like, this person was, like, threatened. They were saying that they, like, wanted my life threatened because I wasn't interested. And the club just wouldn't. They were like, no, it's going to be okay. It's okay. You're fine. But, like, I actually was pretty fucking terrified.
It is, because sometimes you just never know, because people are so crazy nowadays. Like,
yeah. I think working in
never know.
Right? But I think working in the industry and, like, your managers and people always being like, no, it's okay. You almost belittle, like, you, like, belittle certain situations, like, oh, it's fine. But when you think about it, like, it's happening to you right now, like, that's actually really fucked up.
You know what? I'd love to give a shout out to Banter Room. They never let any of those situations, like, be a thing. Like, it was, like, it was workers first. Like, it was the employees first. It doesn't matter who it is, what they spend,
That's
how
really
rich or like, famous
really
they are. If they were any, like, aggressive or, like, any type of wrongful way towards the servers and stuff, especially, or like their employees, they were like, I'm sorry, no, you gotta go.
That's interesting, because we've all been to Backroom a lot. You worked at Backroom. Like, we've all been to Backroom a lot.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed about that place is the pure fact of, like, they don't have something called Bar Watch there, which is a huge thing in the city. But they have so few problems there. Like, the amount of times I've been there, I can't count. I've never seen a single problem.
That's actually so true.
Me neither. It makes no sense to me, because I'm like, they should have more problems than anywhere else.
Because they're so busy.
I literally think it's because they put their staff first.
Maybe.
And I think it's like a common understanding too, even with like the customers that come in as well, that a lot of them are very respectful from everything I learned. Like, they're so nice and respectful, and they don't overstep. They don't, like,
they know they're not allowed to fuck with the staff.
And then they do put like the staff
That's
first.
how it should be. Yeah. I think most places actually, like, in the world are like that.
Most
like
places
Vegas,
in the world are like
I think if you even so much as like rush a server and you feel threatened, you're kicked out.
Yeah.
But no, like,
I know the places you're thinking of, and it's laughable how they're run. But because of just like how they treat their staff. Yeah. It's laughable. Like, what they do at Bathroom, that should be the general rule. That's how you treat your staff. I actually
really, really, really like where it worked. I had really good times. But there are certain things that are flawed.
Yeah, of course.
That's one of
with
them.
most businesses, but that's a big one.
Yeah. But the city's really small. Not to excuse what happened, it's not. The city's so small, so there's only so many customers that you have. At the end of the day, they are trying to make an income.
Yeah. But also franchises are the dangerous ones, where they don't really, like, they'll say they care for their employees, but they don't really care for their employees.
They care about their bottom line.
I like, they will, like, make it seem like, no, you're amazing, like, you're great, no, it's not your fault, I totally get it, like, we'll figure this out. But they go to the customer and be like, no, they were in the wrong, we're so sorry, but for this time to diffuse it, maybe, like, you know, they'll do that stuff. They play both sides. Yeah. But mostly it's usually, like, towards the customer, especially, it, like, depends on, like, how much they spend. Yeah. Like, if they have status or if they spend a lot more, it's more like you're right, but
if you're buying a Heineken or Corona or Happy,
they'd be like, no, they're like, sorry, you're rude.
I've, like, me and my friends have for sure gotten away with things that, like, not anything like you guys talk about, but gotten away with things that, like, we should not have. Yeah. Like, we should have been banned or kicked out at least, and it never happened. And in the moment, I'm like, yes, this is awesome. But thinking back on it now, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, you're going to have a much healthier and a much more positive vibe in your establishment if you stick to these rules and it doesn't matter what you're doing at that establishment. I know it's hard because when money's involved, people get blinders on. But
yeah, well, I think a lot of these clubs, especially here because the city's so small, the business comes first, and then your staff comes second. Yeah. Or actually, customers come second, and then, you know, staff is someone there.
Staff, who knows where they are? So moving right along, another question I wanted to ask is, did working in a club or a nightlife establishment change your concept or value of money in any way? Because people are spending stupid amounts of money in these places for 2, maybe 3 hours of entertainment that is just, when you really look at it, it's just ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So did it change your outlook anyway in that aspect?
I never even thought of it like
Can I
that.
go first or?
You go.
Okay, so did my value of money change? 100%. I almost wish I could go back and be like, oh my God, listen, like this doesn't happen. You need to save every penny and like be smart about it. And that's what I mean by, if anyone's going in a service industry, you're so
Save the
lucky
money.
to save the money, but you get money so quick. So working like 3, 4, max 5 hours a night, you can walk out anywhere from like a bad night, $300 to like $500, $800, a grand or more.
And that's cash in your pocket.
All cash. So when you're making that much money, you almost respect the value. You lose respect the value of money. You spend it almost just as fast, which is insane to me. Girls who are doing it smart are the brilliant ones. But it's hard. It's so hard because you're like, oh my God, like no way. I just like work 3 hours. I made $1,000. Like I'm gonna go treat these people, do this. I'm gonna go shopping.
Yeah.
And you're like, eventually I'm gonna start saving. Next thing you know, fucking.
That
like 4 years,
expiration date comes in. You guys are talking
You're
about.
almost expired milk. And it's done. But so that, and then also it's so hard going from working at a club where you're making that kind of money to going to a regular job and earning, regular
$15, $20 an hour.
I don't even think minimum wage is $15 here, is it? So going from working that
I feel bad that I don't know what minimum wage is here.
But going
I
from
think it's 13 something.
the $13.50, right? Or
Yeah, I think it's 13 something.
But I do know that servers can be paid $1
Less.
less
you paid a lot less because you're making tips.
because you're making tips,
Yeah.
It's like
which
$1
makes
or
no
more
sense
or
to me.
less. Yeah.
But it's insane because going from
And
making that
we
kind of-
tip out on those tips
You
at the
tip
end
out.
of our taxes. We have to calculate our tips into our taxes to make sure it gets calculated right. It's like a
But does anyone do that?
Yes.
No. Kinda.
Of course, everyone does that,
We
you
all do
guys.
the exact
course.
number.
To the dollar.
No, but it's hard
For
going
the
from
cent.
making an insane amount of money thrown at you for really nothing. And then how do you go from that to working regular?
Yeah.
It
It's
fucks
fucking
with your mindset. Yeah,
Bish,
for
what,
sure.
what do you think about it? Are you in agreement with Nez or?
Yeah, for sure. Like nightlife, I get that, like the club scene and stuff, but service industry as well, because like you get on your hours, and you also get the during like busy times, you like rack up like 80 freaking hours, within 2 weeks, and like overtime included, so you're getting a good paycheck. Then on top of it, you like every single day working, you're making like $300 to $500 depending on what. It doesn't go up as high. And like then you just feel so like, oh, I have so much money because all the time it's always cash, and cash is so easily spent without realizing. You go out for drinks or food with your friends, it's gone. You go like to a few stores, like next to your entire cash is gone. You're like, wait, what the fuck happened?
Do you
So
think
totally
that
like
you spend money more when you have cash or your card?
cash.
Yeah,
But because you can't even track it, and I feel happier.
I'll weigh in here 100% when you got cash. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Because you don't
Take
even
it.
feel like it's like that matters because like your bank account number is different, you know what I mean? And then the cash part of it doesn't count unless it goes into the bank account.
no,
That's
the
how I
cash
look
part
at it,
doesn't
and that's
count.
so dangerous because you're like, next thing you look down, you're like, couple grand, like, so I have $10 in my wallet. Where did the rest go?
Okay.
But it did, like, I did lose like appreciation for money or like saving and
Yeah.
stuff from working in the industry. You do.
That was kind of a quick question because I kind of knew the answer because it makes sense. Another one is, how does working at a club affect a relationship you're in?
I feel like
I want to start with Bish.
I feel like it's non-existent. Like my previous boyfriend, last one, he didn't like me working in any type of the industry. He didn't like the
Why do you think that was?
because he was jealous, right? Like I feel like anyone would be because you have to be nice to men. You can't be like rude. When they flirt or whatever, you have to brush it off, whatever the case is, but you have to be nice and open, right? And he didn't like that. And he like also some of his like friends would come in without knowing I was his girlfriend, would like message Buddy, be like, oh my god, there was this like blonde girl at this place, blah blah blah. And then his friend like, yo, that's Buddy's girl. And they're like, oh, I feel like that made him realize like, holy shit, other men might want her. So I feel like it does ruin it. So I personally cut my life in half. Like when I worked, I would go from work straight home. So I didn't make him feel uncomfortable. So I didn't get to like live my life.
You did it to make him feel comfortable.
Yeah, I did it so like he.
You still want to make your money, but you wanted to make him feel comfortable. So it's kind of like a middle ground.
But honestly, no. But I had to quit my job many times, like which like made my relationship rocky with the establishment because I loved him so much. But also like I was like trying to please him in a sense. So I like had to pick. So I picked him. So I quit my job. Then like obviously like when he's doing his own thing, like busy with his work and stuff, I was like, hey, what the fuck am I doing? Mm-hmm. So now like go back to work and he'll feel uncomfortable one more time where he's like, I don't think you should work. Like you'll be fine. Like go back to school, do something else. You know? But it's just like working in the industry and having a relationship is so hard, and especially nightclub. I feel.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I also get where your previous boyfriend was coming from. Like I
100%.
I understand. Like being a guy, like I get it. Like it makes sense to me. Nez, what are your thoughts on that?
Exactly the same. It's so hard. It's just.
Do you think it'll just pretty much create a toxic relationship because of it?
I mean, yes, and when I first started working, I was in a serious relationship. And maybe I was younger, naive, I was very stubborn. And I was like, oh my god, like that's your insecurity, so you have to deal with that. That's all you.
Yeah.
But I choose to do for work, and it's not anything like crazy promiscuous. Yeah. I'm just bottle service, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I was very stubborn. I was like, no, like you're in the wrong. Yeah. My relationships never worked when that was my mindset ever. Yeah. And then I was obviously very serious about someone, so that's when I was like, hey, like I need to change my career, change what I'm doing. And then I saw a complete different, like my relationship was just way better. But yeah, because maybe I'm crazy. I am. But say I'm in a relationship with someone and they essentially have to flirt or have a flirty personality or open or whatever to make money, I fucking go crazy. So 100%.
Especially like when like people, especially when like people look at us as like objects. You know what I mean? When we're like serving, like they don't look at us like humans a lot of times. They're like as objects.
Yes.
And like I feel like men already know that. Like they don't look at you like, oh, you're a nice girl. Like you have such like great brains. Like no one looks at you like that. They look at you like you got a nice body. Yeah, like look at your this, look at your tits, ass. It's like I feel like
a lot of times working at clubs. Obviously, this is not allowed, but a lot of times this doesn't just go for males and females. People get really touchy. Like really, it's not allowed. And you can't get people kicked out for this, but people get really, really fucking touchy.
But it's like
alcohol is involved too, right?
But not just that. I'm the same. But I'm even like that though. I feel like when I was but more towards the girl, not the guy. But I'd be like, is there anything else for you I can get? Like, not the water. Like, it's just like
I have a very flirty personality too. So even if I'm in a relationship, like, oh, like what can I? And I don't even realize it's flirting because I think my personality is very flirty.
Yeah. But
it's not okay.
But it's like, okay, when you have a boy and a girl sitting together, only talk to the girl more so, not the boy, because that just causes tension, drama. It doesn't matter if it's a friend. Mm-hmm. But even then, you're just like, anything else for you? Anything else for you? Like, it's like babes, not babe, like, what are the names that you would use?
I always say babe, because I don't know any names.
Well, I guess, girls, I would like, be like, babe, sweetie, like, for sure, like, no problem, babe. Like, I guess it's babe more so. It's like, but it not just
that's
that.
That's like the universal. I don't know your name.
Your name.
It's like when I see a guy, I don't know his name. I'm like, oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, that's like the universal.
Yeah, this is how it happens.
It's like, I've served you for 3 years and I still don't know your name.
For sure.
It's past the point.
Okay, when you worked in the restaurant industry, though, what was more flirtatious? Was I feel like with coworkers more than like employee, coworkers more than customers.
Yes, working in a restaurant industry, you're more flirty with your coworkers. Working in a nightlife, you're more flirty with your customers.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. It's just like
That's an interesting thing because I didn't know that because I never.
Right? I was thinking, I was like, who do I end up like you know, being like so touchy, like whatever with that would make it uncomfortable. It's like your coworkers, girls and boys. It's like it's just a thing.
I never thought of that because I've never worked in the industry.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that there was a differentiation between working like bar, restaurant, and nightlife.
But when you're in the nightlife, you don't really even have time to socialize with your coworkers. It's go, 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 go.
Also, in the nightlife, there's not as many men.
It's all women.
Yeah.
All women. You have your bar backs and your bouncers, but people you're really interacting with, who like you're working with, your partner in the same section, are your coworkers who are females, but people you're actually speaking to are your customers. And a lot of times they're regulars who you're building like a relationship with. When you're in a relationship with someone and you have that relationship with a table, I feel so bad for my previous relationships now.
It's like you have to though. It's like in order for you to make money or anything, or for the establishment to make money, you have to create a relationship with the regulars, or else someone else does, and they want to sit in their section. They want to be friends with them, but also you want to be like kind of part of all that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've even experienced this, and I'm not even in the nightlife industry. Like when we were dating, like when we first started dating, like regulars would come in that like know her, and like I'd be there, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, no,
like
but this and that,"
flirtatiously.
and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Like my boyfriend's like right there," and they'd leave. They'd leave, and they wouldn't even buy anything.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if I should, but I guess now I can. But a lot of times, you want your I'm sorry, this maybe a shitty thing to say. I don't know, but you want some customers to think they have even the slightest chance. Because they're gonna come back. And I'm not saying they're coming for you, but there's a chance that that's what it is. And when we started dating, it proved it. Because the amount you even saw it, it's like, hey Nez, like how's it going? That time when the table was right across from me, and I was like, well, can I, this is my boyfriend right there. And like literally, okay, left. Left right away.
But it's like, why can't like regulars just like be okay with being friends? Like I would love just friends.
I almost feel like it's
really
like,
not.
it's not,
you know,
but I think it's not that easy to get with a ball. People might think it is. It's actually not that easy to get with a ball girl. And it's almost like a challenge. So it's like, I'm gonna go ahead and see.
Men love the chase.
I feel like it's a lot easier to get with a girl who's not a bottle girl.
Oh, so much easier. That's why girls hate. I'm like, you're actually a bottle rat. You run to
bottle rats. There you go.
Right?
Bottle rats are the easy ones to get. That's what I started thinking.
Right?
What is the word?
You go from table to table.
We haven't touched on bottle rats yet, and I'm glad we are.
But it's true. It's like you're going from table to table to table, and you're hitting on me for working here.
God.
And chances are you would probably hook up with like 90% of this club. And for like someone has to really stand out to me for that's me and you
say something though. I just realized it's not even just girls. Like men have the facade of like trying to shit on girls who work in the industry because I was in a relationship before, and then that person will constantly shit on people who work in the nightclub industry. So I don't become friends with them. Like, and when I thought about wanting to go into like fully into like certain things, he'd be like, "Don't do it." Do you know what I mean? So it's not just girls. Men do that in a sense where they want to hook up with the girls. They'd rather keep you away, but they still talk the shit. And even with their bros or whatever, they'll sit there and like talk such smack, but they will literally drop everything to get with that girl in a heartbeat.
It's like in high school when someone like pretends that they hooked up with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or when they like you, but it's so mean to you, and you're just like,
it's like, oh yeah, like for sure. And then you're like confront them, like I would never say that.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like you know
if we confronted any of them, they'd be like, nope.
So you just talk shit away.
No.
But it's like, but it is a lot of men that portray that though, like. From what I've experienced and stuff, a lot of men I've met, they're like,
she's a, like, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, like, you never want to go for bongos, like this, like, you don't want to be friends. I'm like,
little do they know they fucking slide into your DMs every fucking
they're like at your table buying bottles for 10 grand just to be like, so how was your day?
Exactly.
What's your number? Are you single?
Exactly.
I can't.
And then when you're like, sorry, like,
sickening.
She's a bitch, like,
it's just like, what's it called? Fake news. Fake news.
Bye.
So the last question I want to ask is, it's very much in the same vein, but working in a club, did it, or nightlife, regardless, did it affect what you look for in a potential boyfriend partner type thing?
Yeah.
And what are the standout things that standout qualities do you look for?
Like, do I look for or do I try to avoid? Look for, I guess. Anyone who's in the club that often, honest to God, though, like...
Is that a negative?
It's like a negative for me. Because, like, we don't go to the club to drink. We can drink anywhere. We go to the club to look at those beautiful women serving the bottles to us and look at the bottle rats jump around. Like, that's what men do, to be honest. And women, sometimes we do go to look at, some decent-looking dudes to see if there's someone decent out there. But it's like, I would never find anyone in a club, I don't think. And it just made me realize, like, the ones that are always out there trying to be something or, like, be loud, like you say, it's like, don't want that. Like, I want someone low-key, private, like, more private.
But you can meet that person at the club. You never know.
You can meet? Or I thought you can be. I was like, bitch, you just call me out in front of the
No, you can meet someone just like that.
You can,
Just once in a blue moon.
Yeah, I know. It's harder though. It's like less
difficult.
Likely for that one chance than like through other ways, But it made me realize like people that go like are so invested in like going out and doing all that is like not for me.
Yeah.
I want someone more like chill, low.
How do you feel about it?
Can you please repeat the question?
I feel like I'm Alex Trebek on Jeopardy right now. So has working in the nightlife industry changed what you look for in a potential partner, boyfriend, that thing?
I think what I've looked for in a potential partner, I've always had the same taste. I still do. But I think that working in the nightlife industry, I have been trained to look out for more things. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay. So it was less likely. I hate saying this, but everyone that walked into that door, I automatically didn't like them. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually harder for me to take someone seriously who comes to the club.
Yeah.
But what I looked for a person was always, but in the qualities I looked for in a person would not have found that person in the club. Funny enough, I did find that person in the club.
Funny enough, yeah.
But no. I think it's just because you're always, for me anyways, because I worked at a club or like even in the service industry, that's where you are. So that's where you're likely to find a partner, but it's just harder because
there's so many boxes. You're like, no.
Just Xing off all those boxes. No. Yeah. So that's all the questions that I kind of had for them today, and I think you guys did great. It was a big insight. I mean, I've been a part of the nightlife industry, and you guys even told me things I didn't know. So thank you for answering my questions, all that, and.
Should we do a shot?
Yeah.
I feel like we should do a final shot, and thank you for coming.
Such degenerates.
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
It's not great.
It's like, so like, are we doing some more alcohol now?
So, where the sparklers at?
Yeah. Where's your dad?
Get those sparklers away from me.
Can you hold the bottles and dance for us? Just one time show for the audience.
Do it for the video.
The viewers want
happen.
it.
I don't care what the video is.
The viewers want it.
We'll make it happen.
They pay top money.
Unless
okay, day one. Okay, so in one of these days, we're gonna get him to dance with the bottles.
We're gonna do it.
Maybe if we get him 1942, he'll do it.
Thank you for watching.
I'm gonna die.
Oh, is it bad that I feel drunk?
I feel drunk too.
Don't worry.
But I feel like we should start chasing alcohol with alcohol. I don't think that.
Why are you chasing alcohol with alcohol?
That's what I just said. I don't know. We were chasing alcohol with alcohol the whole time. It was really disgusting.
Have a good night or day, everybody.
Yeah.